Hello everybody, this is Brian with the Instructional Tech Coordinator team here in the School District of Waukesha. In this video we're focusing on the SDW District Walk Through Tool, and we're just going to take a quick look at the flowchart so that anybody who's new to the tool understands the different elements of the tool and also what should be done on each of those elements so that you can get up and running using the tool as quickly as possible. So there are really four different key elements to this whole process. There is the Google form, and this is where the data is collected. It is also something that we can edit. So there's two sides to the Google form. Here you can see the edit side, and here you can see the live Google form, the actual tool itself. If you need to see what that looks like physically, this is the live form, and this part of the form is where the observers will actually collect the data. And then there is this side of the form. This is the editable part where we can change and add and do what we need to do to add, for instance, staff names and observers. So those are really effectively the same tool, but two different sides to that tool. Then there is the responses spreadsheet. This is where the data is collected from the live form. So in the live form, the data is collected and then it's stored back here in the responses spreadsheet. And then finally, there is the cumulative data, and this is something you won't have to worry about much, but just want you to be aware that it's there. All of the data that's collected on the individual spreadsheet gets sent to a cumulative data file, which can be viewed at the district level for district administrators. So let's just talk through each of these pieces as we move forward. The Google form, the editable version of that, so that I should get these right for you. So that looks like these here. The editable version of this form will be shared with two key people, a building principal and an executive assistant within that building. The principal will probably indicate who that is and will initially share the editable Google form with the principal, and then he can choose or she can choose who that goes to from that point moving forward. Tasks on that are to enter the staff names, the observer names, the staff emails, and the observer emails. Once those have been updated, there's nothing more that really needs to be done except for to maintain the form if a new staff member comes in or if a new member is added to the observer team. This is something that can be done at the site level, and it's a conversation between any of the people who would be in these two shared roles, either the building principal or an executive assistant at that level. Now let's look at the responses spreadsheet, which looks like this. This is where the data is stored once the walkthroughs are completed. So the response spreadsheet will initially again be shared with a building principal. From that point, he or she will have edit access and can also share with anybody else that they feel will assist them in this work. But basically, what needs to be done in the spreadsheet is two key tasks. One, if you want to have any sort of data analysis, there's a sortable data sheet on that page. And you'll see I've got two different pieces here, a form responses and a sortable data tab. The sortable data tab is going to automatically call data over from the form responses. We don't ever want to edit the form responses sheet or sort it. All of that data will be automated and copied into the sortable data tab, and there you can do your data analysis as you feel you need to. Also, the other piece that will need to be done on the spreadsheet is to send responses using the Autocrat script, and we do have a video that shows how to do that. This can be done by anybody who has edit access within that form. So again, these key folks here who we've given edit access to. The third piece is the Google form itself, this right here. We will give, at this point, because we have given the building principal and his or her administrative assistants the ability to edit form, they would also have edit access on the outside form. It's effectively the same thing. But the key part here is who we share the URL with of the live form. So this form right here, and when I talk about the URL, I am just talking about this up in the address bar, Okay, so when you're on the live form, there is just one URL for a live form. And the question is, who do we share that with? It'll be the responsibility of one of these two people to share that link with anybody who is in the building or on an instructional leadership team in that building who will be completing walkthroughs. So providing that link to anybody in that role, administratively or instructional leadership teams or coaches, or any outside coordinators or administrative folks from Lindholm who would need to see that link. So that link can be shared with those folks. I do want to warn you, I would not recommend sharing this with all staff though. We want to maintain some fidelity of the data, and the reality is the people who are completing walkthroughs will have a better sense of how this tool is to be used and what kind of feedback is being looked for. So I wouldn't share the live link out with all staff at this point. And then the real task there is just completing the walkthroughs and using that live form to collect the data as they move through. The final part we won't spend a lot of time, but the key piece here is that all of the data that's collected from all of the walkthroughs that are completed in different buildings using 26 different sheets, so you don't see a cross-contamination of data and you don't see people who can have access to data that may not necessarily pertain to them, will be shared with the district administrative team. There's one common spreadsheet where all of this data comes in, and then the district administrative team will have view access and edit access to that. So just wanted you to understand the district walkthrough tool flow chart, or how the different tasks are assigned using the district walkthrough tool.